Yeah, we are obsessed with Le Tigre. We're obsessed with Bikini Kill too.
Yeah.
I did not know it was the same lead singer until Ro informed me a little while ago.
And she's married to a Beastie Boy.
She is married to a Beastie Boy. I looked it up.
Just crazy.
Crazy. Rock and roll royalty.
No, literally. If you don't
know. The
know,
royal family.
If you don't know, Megan and I, within the past year and a half, have become real women-led punk fans.
Very much so. Right, girl.
Yeah, to the point where I feel like it's all we talk about anymore. Mm-hmm. It's definitely given me a superiority complex in the music world.
Oh, absolutely. See, that's the thing. We definitely are like, oh my gosh, our music tastes so unique and like so cool. Then we come to WMUC.
I know. And
we know nothing.
Like, people are like, have you heard of cosmic country? And I'm like, no.
No, I don't. Yeah.
But yeah, this is Spooky Week.
We're doing Spooky Week. Sorry, the song is not particularly spooky, but we did want to listen to Decepticon.
Yeah, Decepticon. I mean, I don't know. Gay people can be spooky. That's like our entire class is about gay people being spooky, right? So
that's so true.
So we decided, because of it being the week of Halloween, even though it's November, we have a long list of spooky and spooky related topics to discuss. First off, Megan, what was the little thing that ruined your day today?
Oh man, the little thing that ruined my day today, I feel like I had one.
Yeah.
I had one earlier. Do you have one?
I do have one.
Okay.
The fact that I opened my bank account and I had $26 in it.
That's a little rough. Oh, okay. No, I know mine for sure. Okay, so me and Ro went to Chick-fil-A before this. Sorry, I guess that's a little homophobic.
Whatever.
Of us. But I tried to get some lemonade and it was water.
It was water.
It was just water. I was pretty upset.
I don't want to be hydrated. I want lemonade.
I wanted my lemonade, so I had to get Pepsi instead.
Okay.
I hate that this is a Pepsi school, but Ro is pro Pepsi.
I'm a Pepsi stan. I'm a Pepsi stan forever. I was going to get it tattooed before I realized getting a corporation tattooed was kind of capitalistic.
Upsetting.
It's kind of messed up. Yeah, it also bothered me that our chicken sandwiches today had one pickle on them.
Literally one pickle.
That
My thing is either put all pickles or zero.
I saw a tweet the other day that was like, you can like pickles, but let's be honest, you add one pickle to a sandwich and it just becomes a pickle sandwich.
That's honestly true.
It's so true, but I love pickles. All right, so this is Spooky Week, so I think we're going to start off with a little bit of discussion about horror movies.
We love horror.
We love horror. Am I coming through? Is my level loud enough?
I can hear you.
Yeah?
If you're listening, can you tell us if our levels are good?
Yeah.
Sorry that I always ask that.
Well, I just want to make sure. But yeah, so we're going to start off talking about favorite and least favorite horror movies and favorite and least favorite type of horror movie. If you don't know, Megan and I are basically the same person. And
Kara says we sound good. Thank you, Kara.
Thank you, Kara.
Love you.
We are horror movie aficionados.
Mm-hmm.
I made a letterbox the other day, and I reactivated my letterbox, and I started adding all the horror movies I have seen to a list, and I think I've seen 70.
There's a lot. We've seen a lot of, collectively, lots of horror movies.
Do you right off the top of your head have a favorite or least favorite?
I have a few favorites.
Okay.
I will say,
let's talk about it.
I really like Saint Maud. It's an A24. It's a little bit under the radar A24.
No, underrated.
I'm kind of like a horror buff, so
yeah, we're kind of horror buffs here.
No, but I really do like that movie. I think the visual effects are really cool because they're very subtle, but they do a lot for the movie, in my opinion. Also, woman director.
It's
also about religious extremism. Get into
religious extremism.
Do you have one? I'm trying to think of my least favorite. I'll think of my least favorite while you say
okay,
yours.
So I have a few that I can, for different reasons. Midsommar, I think everyone talks about Midsommar and Hereditary, but I think they're so deserving of the hype. I love both of them. I really like Us by Jordan Peele. Love that one.
I love that movie. It's so good.
Yeah. That one also, I think, worthy of the hype. But
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think Get Out is a horror movie? Because people treat it like one, but I personally don't think it is.
I think it straddles the line.
I think it's a thriller.
I think it straddles the line between thriller and horror.
By the way, this is not a criticism of Get Out. That movie is great.
It's amazing. I think that there are psychological horror movies that are so good at what they do that they're more like thrillers than horror.
I agree with you.
But I really like, we've talked about this, I literally say it every time I watch a horror movie, I love climax.
She does really love climax.
It's real messed up. Mm-hmm. So please read trigger warnings before you watch that movie. It is also A24. That one is so good. Like, it's just so well executed. I mean, we don't have to get into like the movie buff like stuff, but
I have kind of like a least favorite. It's not. Okay. It's kind of. I didn't watch the full thing. I couldn't watch the full thing.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, Bird Box.
Oh,
which one did you think?
I was gonna say Tusk.
Oh, I
can't watch Tusk.
I can't watch Tusk. I was gonna say Bird Box, because I don't think I'm allowed to say like the thing on the radio, but you know, massive like self-unaliving trigger warnings.
Yeah,
so much so that it did.
It's the main plot device. Yeah, it's the main plot device. It's rough.
So I didn't love that.
Don't love that. Two of my least favorites for very different reasons. I have this thing where like when I read or watch something and I don't remember it, that's usually because I hated it. I watched this movie in theaters called Ouija. Awful.
Oh, yes.
Awful.
Yeah.
Hated it.
I know of it.
It was just real bad. The other horror movie that I hated, but to be fair, it was really well done, is Apostle. I watched Apostle with my roommate Karis, and Karis and I had to hug each other afterward, and I went in my room and cried because it was really, really gory. So, like, trigger warning. It's rough, but to be fair, it was like a well done movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of. I do feel like there was one that I watched in the past year or so that I finished it, and I was like, that was disappointing. It'll probably come to me by the episode. We just watched Lake Mungo as an apartment.
Yeah, Lake Mungo.
It was good.
It was okay.
It's not exactly scary horror.
It's just sad.
It's really sad.
And that's my thing.
But it's very well done.
I wish there was a way to like know before you get into a horror movie if it's gonna just be sad.
That's my problem with like watching horror movies alone.
Yeah.
It's not the scary part, it's the sad part.
That's fair.
Because I don't love to watch things that are sad. So
okay, that's fair.
Yeah. See, I have problems with that.
I like to watch horror movies alone because I get really like involved in it, and that makes it scarier when there's like nobody to talk to. Because when I talk to people during movies or people talk, it snaps me out of it, which means it's like not as like immersive.
Gotcha.
So I actually I watched this movie called Hard Candy, that has oh gosh, what's his name? The guy that's in Umbrella Academy, Elliot Page.
Oh, Elliot Page.
Yeah, Elliot Page is in it, and it's that was a movie that I think if I was watching with other people, I wouldn't have liked it, but because I watched it alone, it was amazing. So good.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did remember a movie that me and you watched together that we liked, but it was a little overkill. When me and Ro had COVID, we had COVID at the same time and our roommates didn't, so me and Ro spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
We watched Possessor.
Yes!
Possessor.
Oh my god, Possessor!
Came out in 2021 or
rough
something.
movie, but so good.
So rough. Really, really good. Really, really dark themes.
It's messed up.
Incredibly gory.
Unbelievably gory. So we listened to a lot of true crime podcasts, and this was one of those movies where we were like, imagine doing a true crime podcast about this, what happens, because you would have no idea what went on.
It's really wild. If you guys are okay with gore, do you remember how I looked up that there's an uncensored version of it, and we didn't watch the uncensored version? Mm-mm.
Isn't there like full frontal?
There's full frontal,
like male full frontal,
complete nudity in that movie. Also,
that's insane.
Seriously, one of the goriest scenes I've extended death scene.
No,
probably,
it was rough.
I think it was like 10 minutes long or something.
Really rough,
extended death. Every single I remember every 2 minutes we'd be like, is he not already dead?
Yeah, no, literally, we're like, how is he not dead? Okay, so kind of going off of that, do you have what's your favorite type of horror movie?
Okay, so I think a fun type of horror movie, and we've talked about this, a fun campy slasher is always
fun.
Always gonna get the girlies going.
Yeah.
Personally, the type of horror that gets me the most is anticipation, dread.
Dread. Dread.
And then with a couple jump scares thrown in. So Creep, if you guys have seen Creep, absolutely got me. Another really dread horror movie is As Above, So Below.
Oh my!
It has kind of mixed reviews, but We really liked that movie.
Underrated.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. And I remember we looked it up either before or after, and a lot of people did not like it. It's got the guy from Superstore in it, which is crazy.
By the way, he is from Bethesda, Maryland.
Love. Except we don't really stand Bethesda.
We don't love Bethesda, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I'll stand him for that. Or I'll stand Bethesda because he's from it, you know? I feel like the dread gets me. I really like twists. I love a good twist.
I need a twist.
So I do like psychological horror because of that.
Sorry, I have a question about the board. If the little light goes on, does that mean we're clipping?
Yeah, but
the cursor isn't like going all the way to the right.
Yeah, so if a little red light goes off a ton, it means we're clipping a ton.
Okay.
So I think as long as we're only having it occasionally, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
This is why I was like fiddling with our levels so much, because it wasn't moving that much, but then it would clip. I don't know. If Kara says our levels are good, I'm assuming our levels are good. Justin, you're listening. You just texted me. If our levels are really bad, please let me know.
Karis, are you listening at work? She just texted and she said, I'm listening. It's so loud in here, but I am listening.
Oh my gosh. Karis.
My mom said, what is clipping? Clipping is like kind of when the audio cuts out because it's so loud.
Oh my god, our fan base of our roommate and your
Ariana
mom.
said, I thought you were asking if you sound like Gru. I hope we don't sound like Gru from Despicable Me.
Okay, Justin said we sound amazing.
Okay, cool.
I think my least favorite horror, it's not even that it's like bad, but I think it's just always been too real, is like apocalyptic horror or like disaster movies.
I 100% agree.
And I like some of the movies, like Train to Busan. I know you haven't seen that. We should watch it. But I
do want to see that.
It's also sad. So that's the thing. It's real sad.
I always have to gear myself up.
It's really sad. But it's really, really good. But like 28 days later, we watched that together. Like, I think we watched it together. It's a zombie movie.
Yeah. I think
it's
so.
rough. I also I'm not going to go too much into it because like we're on air, but like violence against women in horror movies,
that's hard.
Like American Horror Story is like,
hold on. I just remembered what we forgot when we were talking about our favorite horror movies. That is ridiculous that we forgot it.
Okay.
Invisible Man.
Oh my god, Invisible Man. Okay, this is the one exception.
Are you kidding me? Invisible Man. If you haven't seen the new Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss, by the way, I'm going to talk more about Elizabeth because I have something spooky related to her that I do want to talk about.
Okay.
We love the new Invisible Man. It is so good.
There's a lot of violence against women though involved.
Yes. Be forewarned.
I did show it to someone. They did have a bit of a panic attack while watching it.
If you're
did trigger them a little bit.
I'm so sorry because I definitely recommended that one.
No,
as a
and
good,
here's the thing. Like, I didn't even
movie.
remember that this one thing that happens. So it's like, because it's kind of like minor relative to the entire plot. But I felt so awful. Oh my god. I just wanted to like crawl into a hole and die.
Yes.
I felt so bad. But
trigger warning, definitely violence against women and all types of abuse, every type of abuse,
literally every single type you can think of, it's there. Actually, there's no animal abuse, is there?
I don't think so.
So that's one that doesn't have.
If you like sci-fi, psychological thriller, any type of horror, suspense, I don't know, anything, please watch The Invisible Man. It is so good. And now I know I interrupted you. I do want to talk about my little thing about Elizabeth Moss.
Okay, go for it.
I feel the need to say every single time she comes up.
Okay.
So, love Elizabeth Moss. I know she's like a Scientologist, but we're just going to pretend she's not. She said so I was kind of like looking her up a few like months ago. Just because of her relationship. Great movie, Invisible Man.
Of course.
And she used to be married to Fred Armisen.
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. Okay.
I think he's on SNL. Is he still on SNL?
I have no idea.
He was on SNL. So it was not a long marriage at all. No. And I think it was really, really not a happy marriage. She said one of the scariest things I've ever heard somebody say in an interview.
Yeah.
So he's kind of known for his impressions. And in an interview, she said, everybody talks about his impressions, but the best impression he does is that of a normal person. Yeah. That is one of the scariest things I've ever heard.
That's so freaky. Can you imagine someone saying that? Can you imagine like your ex saying that about you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Every single time Elizabeth Moss comes up, I always bring that up.
No, that's insane.
It's so scary.
I'm glad you got out of that situation. That's insane. Okay, speaking of like zombie and like disaster movies, how long do you think you would last in a zombie apocalypse? Like realistically.
Okay, realistically,
I think you'd last a little while.
I actually do think so. I'm just really stubborn.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would just get mad and like refuse to die.
Yeah.
But I do think that if I was like alone, I just probably wouldn't have any like will to live anymore.
I was gonna say I think I'd just lose my mind because I would have no will.
Also, people never talk about this in apocalyptic movies, but without my medication,
no, that's
what
the
am
thing.
I actually gonna do?
It's gonna suck for a little bit, right? Like the withdrawals are gonna suck, and then I'm gonna lose my mind even more. Can you imagine like me not on anxiety medication in a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah,
losing my mind.
Yeah, we don't have to get into how much medication I'm on.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it.
No, but this is why I always talk about book recommendations, spooky book. Station 11. I don't remember the author,
right?
But it is like an apocalyptic, like pandemic book. So also trigger warning for that. But there is a scene where this girl, basically a lot of people get trapped in an airport and they're basically trapped there indefinitely because of like the pandemic.
Yeah.
And this girl is going around asking everybody if they have like a specific antidepressant. I think it's like Wellbutrin or something. And like nobody has it. And she basically like goes insane.
Yeah.
And she like walks alone into the woods and she never comes out again.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
That would probably be me.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Too.
Like that would, I think that like I am scrappy enough that I would be okay against the zombies. Cause like at the end of the day, they're zombies. You know what I mean? They're not that smart.
So that's the thing is like, it really, to me, it really depends what the zombie type is. Because if they're fast zombies, I'm absolutely gone.
No, I'm gone. I'm gone. Because here's my thing. I have grit in some areas, but my mom knows I'm a quitter. I'm a little bit of a gritty person. I'm not a gritty person. I mean, I'm a little bit of a quitter. And so I do feel that like when I'm working out, some people are like, I'm going to push through for this last rep. I am absolutely not going to do that. Absolutely not. So I just feel that if I'm running from fast zombies, like I'm going to give out at some point. I'm not going to keep fighting.
Jason is listening.
I
Thank
know.
you for listening.
That's crazy.
Also, Kara says her coworker is listening. Thank you, Kara's coworker. Shout out to you.
We love you so much.
Trying to expand our listener base.
I know.
But yeah, I feel like do you feel like you have any like transferable skills that would really help you in a zombie
I was
apocalypse?
a Girl Scout.
There you go.
I can tie
knots. There you go.
Never mind. Moving on. I'm checking myself. Digital footprint. I'm checking myself.
Thank you.
I don't know. I think I'm just scrappy. Like, I feel like growing up in my household, like, I'm good at, like, being like, it's fine, we can work with this. You know?
I will say I'm pretty good at fixing things.
Yeah, you are pretty good at fixing things. I feel like I have good court sense in medical situations. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like I'm pretty good at being, like figuring, just being resourceful. And then I've also been told by a few people that I'm pretty good under pressure. Like, in stressful situations.
I think I'm pretty good under pressure, too.
I'm good at staying calm, so everyone else stays calm. So I think that would be helpful.
I said, I do crisis intervention, so I'm pretty good under pressure.
You're pretty good under pressure. Yeah, so I feel like that would be good for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think together we'd be a decent pair because I think we'd keep each other sane.
But we wouldn't be able to shut up, so like they would always know where we were.
Yeah, but I feel like that would keep us going. Like that's what would give us the will to live.
I think that we would
just for the bit.
People would listen to our radio show and they would as something to like, you know,
we would have
keep it alive and
we would have the rebellion
funny.
Radio show that like you know in Harry Potter there's like a specific thing you have to tune into.
That is exactly what I was thinking of.
Oh my gosh.
The Harry Potter one. Yes.
Wait, love this. Apocalypse happens so that we can have a famous radio show.
Yeah.
Love that.
Please.
Okay, so moving on, we were going to talk about Halloween costumes. Acceptable and unacceptable Halloween costumes. Obviously, let's just get it out of the way. Cops, indigenous people.
That's exactly. Cops, indigenous
prisoners,
people.
Prisoners. Hate it.
Like a sombrero. A little like kimono.
If you're
shout out to my mom. I am indeed half Japanese. If I see you wearing a kimono as a Halloween costume,
I'm only 6% Mexican.
I may or may not, come at you.
Yeah, I'm only 6% Mexican, but if you have a sombrero on, I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch the lights out. Like, there's just no way.
Bro is 6% Mexican. She did a 23andMe. So,
yeah. I will be punching your lights.
Queen.
Oh my god, I know.
Woman of color. This is officially a person of color run radio show.
No, I know, right?
Multicultural
radio show. I'm British and Irish mainly, so
every white person is Irish.
Don't bring up potatoes around me.
I will say it again. Also, Karis is Irish. This is when she would say, not by choice.
I know. This is when she would make some sort of joke that would make us both really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
She's real good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of her thing in the apartment.
Karis loves to say, like, she loves to be like, play the race card, which is honestly, I think is
Which
really
is fair.
funny. But anytime you say something like mean about her, she'll be like, are you saying that because I'm black?
Like, you can't like call Karis out on anything because she's like, it's because I'm black, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we're like, what do you say to that? You know? But to be fair, it's really funny.
It is funny.
Absolutely.
Never
I
stop.
play the same card with gay people. Like, I can't. It's fun. Like, I can't blame you.
Yeah.
Unacceptable
oh my gosh.
Halloween costumes.
This is kind of relevant, but I think about this all the time, and if my mom is listening, it's very funny. I seriously think about it all the time.
All right, word.
So my brother used to be an investment banker, and he was telling me and my mom at one point about like one of the companies that he was working with, and the CEO, and he was like, the CEO, like she's okay. I feel like she's kind of like, you know, and she was like, and he was like, you would get along with her really well, Megan. She's a lesbian. I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
That's like when my mom bought me those
Friendly
those leather driving gloves, and she was like, "These are really lesbian." And I was only out as like bisexual / kind of saying queer. I mean, to be fair, I'm not a lesbian. Like on a technicality, I am not a lesbian. There's like one man, you know, that's it. But I was like, Mom, like you can't like. Like these are really gay. Like excuse me.
All right, like calm down.
Like
guys.
calm down. She's like like because I know that. So I like to. My parents like to brag about me in very different ways. So like my dad likes to walk around and be like, yeah, my daughter's a bartender and she's an art major, right? And my mom likes to walk around and be like, yeah, my daughter's a gay tattooed bartender. And she's dating other gay people.
I mean, she is building you up.
No, I mean, it's great because, like...
in your true identity.
My thing is, like, she could hate me for being gay, so, like, no complaints. You know what I mean? It's just so funny that, like, to be used as, like, my daughter's so cool. She's gay. You know? That's so funny
That
to
is
me.
really funny.
Because I'm like, it's... Sometimes when you're living the life, it's not very cool. It's not
the best.
Everyone that's... all the straight girls that are like, ugh, dating women would be so much easier. No, it would not.
Guys.
Here's my thing.
Please.
When you emotionally connect with somebody... and then it ends, what do you do then? It's over. It's rough. We don't have to talk about it. It's rough. We're going to have an LGBT week.
We are. Okay,
we're
yeah,
going to
we'll
talk about
this in LGBT week.
We're going to talk about this LGBT week.
Shout out to my dad. My dad just said he's listening.
Hi,
we love
Mr.
the familial
Burke.
support.
Hello. What's it like being an environmental engineer today? Okay,
sorry. Unacceptable Halloween acceptable Halloween costumes.
Well, what are some unacceptable ones that aren't the obvious ones we just listed?
Unacceptable ones that aren't obvious.
I know everyone loves to hate on like the cats and the bunnies, but here's my thing. You look good.
Okay, I have a problem with that. That's specific. Okay. That's not to college students. If you are a celebrity, you have a lot of money, and you go with something basic on Halloween and you post pictures of it, I'm going to be mad.
Heidi Klum was a worm.
I saw that. That was so sick.
If she can, you can.
That was very... well,
you know,
if you're a celebrity.
If you're a celebrity, you can put in at least a quarter of the effort she did. Mm-hmm. And, like, come on now.
This is what I wanted to say. I love Lauren Jareggi. Okay? Did you see her Halloween costume?
No, it was her Halloween costume.
She was
Justin's
a cat.
Listening. Justin's going to kill us.
She was a cat.
Did she look good, though?
Yes, but it doesn't matter. It was basic.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like a cat, like she really like committed. It was just like...
it's just like a black
ears
bodysuit.
And like a black bodysuit. Like, come on.
Another thing that I really hate, we went to a party for Halloween and there were not one, but two boss babies. There were
we
men
need to tell the story.
in cut-up dress pants running around. Okay, okay. So let me set the scene. We get to this house. First of all, we walk in the cold. We're all 2 shots in. Okay, it's quiet on the block.
Digital footprint.
Okay, we're all
that's
legal.
Fine. We're all
legal.
Yeah. I'm 21 years of age.
Yeah, we're all it's 21. We're all good. This is perfectly fine. But we walk to this house party. At first, it's like silent on the block, and we're terrified, right? And eventually, we get to this party. We hear fire alarms going off.
Constant smoke alarm.
Constant smoke detector going off. Open the door, or like people open the door. Smoke comes pouring out.
Just like complete, like
of some fashion,
thick, dense smoke.
Dense. I was trying to take a video of it and like it wasn't really catching, but it was like impressive, right? We get in there, full of smoke. The smoke detectors are detached. They've like taken them out. I think Megan actually put them back in later in the night.
I did fix
You did
one
fix it.
later. What can I say? It's
we
in my
go get some
nature.
drinks. We're in the kitchen. I look to my left. On the counter, what do I see? A baby bottle with like a milk-like liquid in it.
I was disgusted in that moment.
It was
a
so
baby
gross.
bottle.
No, it was disgusting. And so we call the host over. And we're like, does someone have a child here? Like, there's smoke. Like, it's full of smoke. Like, what is going on? And he's like, oh, no, my roommate is a boss baby, so that's rum chata. And, like, I'm a bartender. I didn't know rum chata looked like that.
It was very gross.
It was white. It was opaque.
It
looked like milk.
Very gross.
And I was like, I kind of wish it was milk. I almost feel like that would make it better.
I almost do feel like, well, dairy milk, though.
No, yeah, that's true. Okay,
well,
oat
that's
milk,
the real horror.
That's the real horror is dairy milk. But then we're chatting. I look over to my right on like the kitchen island. There's another baby bottle full of rum chata.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 boss babies running around this party.
2.
Running around.
2.
I was appalled.
I was disgusted.
I don't think as an adult that you should be dressing up as a baby.
I agree with you.
Or like a little child. Did you see that Billie Eilish dressed up as like a baby and people think it's a joke because she's dating Jesse Rutherford and he's 10 years older than her.
Ew.
And he dressed up as like an old man.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's love ourselves a
Let's
little
love
bit.
ourselves a little bit. That was a little upsetting for
That
me.
is so gross.
But yeah, so I think like any like little child, like if you
that is definitely
resemble
not acceptable
Melanie
to me.
Martinez in any sort of way on Halloween, you need to think about something.
Yeah.
Is
Reflect.
that fuzziness coming through on your end?
It is.
Okay.
I can hear it a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I'm not doing anything. I
Okay.
mean, you're looking at me. Is it my hair? No, I don't know what it is. That's so interesting.
Are you like too close?
Am I too close to the mic?
I don't know. It's
Or is
kinda
this
like
better?
cutting out. It's weird.
That's so curious.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway, what's the next topic?
Let's see. Should I?
Oh
switch?
wait, no. I do want to talk about something at this party.
Okay.
So at this party, close to the end of the night, we're all feeling good. We're chilling. We're getting a little bit ready to leave.
Yeah.
I go to the bathroom.
Oh my God.
I think Ariana went with me.
Is this the keys?
What?
Is this the story about the keys?
No, but that happened too.
Okay, because I was with you for the keys.
I'm trying to figure out if you should move to mic 3 because the fuzziness is coming
try.
through.
Let's wait. Is it good now?
No.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah, let's
phase
try
you
mic
out.
3. How's that? Can you hear me?
No, I haven't put you up yet. Okay.
Can you hear me literally at all?
No,
Is mic 3 not working? Because I can't hear myself.
I can't hear you either.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Sorry about the fuzz.
All right.
Yeah, sorry about the fuzz. I don't really know what's going on.
Me neither, but we're gonna
Hello?
figure it out.
Hello? Oh,
I can hear you now.
okay.
Okay.
I won't move the mic.
Okay.
I'll keep it just as it
Okay.
is. Sorry about any
guys.
fuzziness
Sorry about the
that comes
technical
through.
difficulties. We're still kind of figuring out the studio.
Well,
a
I
little
don't think
bit.
this is our fault because I have not been touching this mic that much. I readjusted it so I could like lean back, but
Yeah, I do now.
But,
Okay.
Okay. What were you gonna say? You had something you were gonna
Okay.
say.
Yes. So. Okay. By the way, yes. Me and Ro, we did go to the bathroom and we found somebody's car keys to an
Audi.
Audi
We also found Mercedes keys
on the floor.
I was like, who are you living with? That's crazy.
Yeah, we talked to the host and I was like, "Are you guys rich?
very rich
Because
apparently.
this house is not reflecting that."
Yeah, no. The real horror is people with money not decorating properly. But anyways,
Truly
playing beer pong
truly.
with a saucepan.
What was okay? We don't even have to.
Anyways.
That is the real horror,
Anyways.
to be honest. But yeah. So we go to the bathroom, and in the hallway, there's kind of like a narrow hallway
yes,
leading
okay.
down to the bathroom.
This is horror related.
There's a little sort of like a smallish door.
very small.
I was I was curious.
I was a little
okay?
curious.
So I opened the door,
Yeah.
and it is a dark, horrifying basement.
Yeah.
Like truly stairs descending into like a chasm.
If you've seen the movie Barbarian
Yes.
or The Conjuring,
The
it was
Conjuring,
that
but
sort of
but
basement.
it was giving very much like Barbarian.
Barbarian.
If you guys haven't seen Barbarian,
It was pretty good.
it was pretty good. I know I was kind of hating. I'm just very critical.
I'm also very critical.
But I will say the first like maybe 40 minutes of that
Yeah.
movie, I think some of the most scared I've been from a movie, like, in
Yeah.
my life. Me and Ro also saw it in theaters.
We did pay money to go see that.
We were clutching each other.
I did see this TikTok that I thought really rang true, that when Genslinger, that's not his actual name, it's just the actor who is in New Girl. His character's name is Genslinger, but he was also in Tusk.
Yes.
When he comes on,
I forgot his name, but yeah.
When he comes on, I was like, why do I have so much anxiety? It's because of Tusk.
Yeah.
That's
I totally get that.
That movie, I couldn't finish it, and it changed my life. Like, I can't unsee the horrors. If you haven't seen Tusk, don't watch it. Please don't watch it. You think you can handle it? I've seen so many horror movies. I could not handle it. It made me queasy.
Yeah.
Like,
even clips from it make me queasy.
And if you ever see Apostle, you'll be like, wow, you could get through this movie and not Tusk? Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like,
yes. I've watched cannibalism movies.
Let's not even get into Tusk right now.
Anyways.
I feel like I'm not mentally
But
equipped
yeah,
to
so there
handle
was a
that.
barbarian style basement that freaked us out a little bit, but we're smart enough.
I was truly scared. I locked it up tight.
Real tight.
I put that deadbolt on.
Triple deadbolted. Put a little, like, threw some salt over your shoulder.
Oh yeah. We were hightailing it out of there.
No, we were. Okay, so we have a few more topics that we wrote down, so I'm gonna read them and you tell me what you want to talk about, because
I'll tell you what I mean by some of them, because I think some of them are unintelligible, except to me.
I don't think we have time to talk about all of them.
But yeah.
So, more favorite horror content, our LGBT class, our ex-roommate. That's a horror story.
Truly.
The real horror is the friends we made along the way. What did that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
I did write it. I think I just wrote it because I thought it would be funny if you read it out on the air. Was
it
a
little funny?
Okay.
I mean,
call in.
Can you imagine if we had a phone? I would.
Don't give us
no.
that.
I would love if we had a phone and people could call in.
Yeah.
We could just have guests.
Well, we kind of want to do like an advice segment.
Oh my god, we should totally do it. But here's the thing: we don't have enough listeners, and the people who listen to our show, we already give unsolicited advice to all the time. Like, everybody listening
to their face.
They're like, please, we don't want any more advice. Please stop. We also have this one. I am really excited to talk about girls who are still obsessed with Matthew Gray Gubler.
Oh, I definitely want to talk about
let's talk
this.
about that.
Okay, so
because why?
So here's my thing. If you are a girl and you are still obsessed, obsessed,
like real into like white boy of the year for you,
yes, like a male celebrity,
wake up.
I am scared,
wake up,
and upset. Here
Compet
is my one exception to that is gosh, I cannot remember. Christopher Maloney.
Who's that?
Stabler. We're going to talk about this,
but I just
when
think that's
Karis
because
comes on for SVU.
Who we have, that's just like the show that we're enjoying right now.
Okay, fine.
Here's my thing. If you're like unconditionally standing a male celebrity, you need to go to therapy.
Wake up.
You need to go to therapy.
Get real.
You need to get real, because here's the thing. They're all bad people.
Every celebrity. So I'm like incredibly anti-celebrity culture.
Yeah, very.
Everybody who's listening definitely knows that about me, because only our friends are listening.
Yeah.
But I do not believe in celebrity worship, because you don't know these people. They're going to disappoint you.
And also, people, you don't know someone, but you can tell a lot about them by who their friends are. Case in point, Harold Styles.
Mm-hmm.
Who are his friends? Not great people. Not great people.
At all. We don't have to rag on Harry every single episode, though.
Here's the thing.
Don't have to.
Here's the thing. Harry, still a sexy guy. Still an attractive man. Probably not a good person.
Oh, for sure not.
Odds are he's
not
a good person.
We're going to get like stands like coming at us.
Here's my thing.
If anybody ever hears this.
Here's my thing. I already like see myself as above you because you're a stan. Like, I literally,
completely agree.
This is going to be kind of funny, but like literally I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. Part of the reason I'm like not a religious person is we'd be in church and I'd be like, y'all are going to let this person have that much control over your life? I couldn't stand God. Okay? I already see myself as above stans. Like, really? Like, I couldn't even stand
people
God.
who are like devout to their religion just stan God.
No, they do. And here's my thing.
It's just standing.
It's incapable. Like, I'm too.
Who's your bias between God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit?
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I'm a little partial to the Holy Ghost. I will say spooky season is my favorite. Do love a little ghost action. He's a little scary. He's a little. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I just can't stand. Are you looking to see what our friends are saying?
My dad said there's actually like a phone number to call into our show on the website.
I don't think that works.
There isn't a phone in here.
Mr. Burke, you should try it though. Just see what happens.
You call my dad Mr. Burke?
What else should I call him?
It just surprises me. I don't know.
I haven't had. So your mom has been like, call me. I won't say your mom's first name, but like
you can if you want.
Okay.
To.
Well, your mom has been like, call me Mayu. Like, so if a grown up has said that to me multiple times, I say that like I'm not technically an adult, but like if someone's parent has said to me multiple times, call me by my first name, I'll be like, okay, that's what you prefer. But I don't think I've had enough conversations with your dad where he's been like, call me Sean. That okay. Like, but here, this will be the final tale. Should I call you Sean or should I call you Mr. Burke? Or should I call you Mr. Megan's dad?
Ariana says Mr. Sean is the way to go.
Okay, Mr. Sean is good. Yeah, because my mom is cool with Miss Pam. I say Mr. Scott.
Your mom does not like Miss Pam.
She will take it.
Okay.
She's not happy about it,
She does not like it.
My mom really wants to just be called Pam.
Mr. Scott, for sure.
Mr. Scott. I do call your mom Mayu, though. And I don't know why I don't say Miss Mayu versus Mayu.
Because she doesn't care.
She doesn't care. Yeah.
She, like, probably prefers, like...
But my dad, it's so funny, because my dad will always be Mr. Lanford. My dad will not take anything. I don't really
refer to your dad by name.
Yeah.
I just say hello.
I think Mr. Dave would be fine if you're a friend and not a romantic interest. But
my dad said, okay, so my full name is now on the show. Do you want to read my phone number too? Sorry, Dad.
Well, this is why I asked.
I will say, though, like, my full name is also on the show. So as soon as somebody says, like your first name,
you know what? Here,
your full name has been on the show.
His name is spelled.
I'll read out my home
Social
address.
Security number. Okay. So, yeah. If you're standing a man... Also, Matthew Gray Goobler.
Come on, guys. He is like a known creep.
He can be hot.
He's like a known creep.
But he's a known creep. He's a weirdo. Have you ever seen him without this hat on? That's weird. Do we want to talk about our old roommate?
Here's my thing. Sometimes I get angry. Do we like want to get into it?
Maybe not this week.
Okay.
Because we're gonna get mad.
We are gonna get mad.
We're gonna get really mad.
This is, by the way, if you if you listened to last week's episode, this is the milk drinker.
The milk drinker.
She drinks cow milk.
Yeah.
Problematic.
Basically, in summation, this girl went out and partied during lockdown, and then when we were like, hey, can you not go out and party all the time because it's still lockdown, it's October of 2020, and we're scared, and some of us have hospital jobs, she was like, you didn't have to move back to College Park. And we were like, we invited you into our apartment.
Mm-hmm. And it was our apartment. Yeah, it was the three of us, and she didn't have a place, and we were like kind of friends. So we
then
were like, hey,
over winter break, it was just her and I. So I tried to make amends. She fully lied to me about like multiple things, and my stupid butt believed her, right? And then I talked to the people she was lying about, and they were like, she's lying, and I was like, oh my god,
she's a liar.
She also would make anti-Semitic jokes, and she thought that it was okay because people always thought she was Jewish because she looked Jewish.
So apparently, she always said that people thought that she was Jewish.
Is that not crazy?
It's crazy. She lied about being Jewish. She said that she was Jewish so that she could get a job at a Jewish day school.
And she would make fun of them like speaking in Hebrew.
Like, she was crazy.
I was like, what is this woman
She is
saying?
A bad person.
She is queer. She would drop slurs constantly.
Mm-hmm.
She would drop slurs that were not relevant to her specifically.
So we should clarify, not racial slurs.
Not racial slurs. Homophobic slurs.
Homophobic slurs.
She would drop.
Not that it's like a lot better, but it's like a little
just
better.
to clarify that she wasn't dropping. Because to be fair, if we said she was dropping racial slurs and then I was like, but I tried to be friends with her, like that would reflect real bad.
That would not be.
No,
okay.
she would drop F slurs. She is not of the party who can drop the F slur. I feel weird dropping slurs relevant to my identity even.
I agree.
So a lot of the times.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody just texted me and said, what are we talking about? We're talking about an ex-roommate who just sucked, you know?
Sucked. She sucked.
She really sucked. And it was crazy because
I'll say her full name on the show.
We know her full name. Yeah,
I'll read her address. I'll read her phone number.
But what's crazy, she
just doxing.
I know.
The show is just doxing.
Literally just doxing. Like That's so messed up. You're gonna be really proud of me. I almost cursed just then, and I pulled it back.
You actually, I feel like you've been doing really well.
I've been doing really well. I know. I'm really happy. I'm happy with myself for that. But yeah, so not only was she dropping slurs that she was not privy to, she pretended to be Jewish and then made anti-Semitic jokes about it. She was in a sorority, so already
a little bit of like a little inkling of a red flag there. I will say
she did some dirty things.
There are a couple people who I still love who are in sororities.
Okay.
Shout out to my ex-roommate, my freshman year roommate, Delaney.
Yes.
I love you, Delaney. I really miss you.
She was listening last week.
She might have listened last week.
Yeah, she was listening last week. Love.
I hope you listen to this and you hear me appreciate you.
Love. But yeah, it was a time in life. We got a cat and she moved out immediately.
Shout out to
Winston.
In case you guys didn't see, if you follow either our Instagram or our TikTok, I'm not telling you to, but if you want to, you can.
Aggressively Neutral Pod.
At Aggressively Neutral Pod on Instagram and TikTok. I actually just posted a reel and a TikTok that I edited.
Megan is kind of
I edited
amazing.
from last week's episode, and I did it on Premiere and After Effects,
Real
which
big
I
girl
have
stuff.
Zero experience
Real
with.
big girl stuff.
And I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But we talk about Winston on there, so check it out if you want to. I'm kind of proud of myself.
I'm very excited for that.
I am too. I want to keep editing.
You worked really
clips.
hard on it, so I'm proud of
Thanks.
you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk about, actually, we should save that for Gay Week.
What?
I was gonna say I should tell funny stories of people I've dated, but bad stories.
Let's save that for Gay Week.
What can I talk about the ones in straight relationships?
Maybe.
Can I talk about?
Is it spooky?
Yes. Can I talk about
Which
the
one?
first date that I went on where the guy? Okay, I went on a first date with this guy. And for 45 minutes, he talked about BMX bikes. Which I had no knowledge of BMX bikes, right?
It was not a mutual interest.
It was not a mutual interest. He was showing me YouTube videos. He was whipping it out. No, sorry, that sounds bad. No, he was whipping out his phone and showing me videos. And and also I was a freshman and he was a senior. Already weird, right?
I was just thinking about that today. That's weird.
That's so weird. Even as somebody who's let's just say I could never, not a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
There have been people are people that are younger, but not freshmen,
Here's
18,
the thing,
19.
is
that's so weird.
I feel like I have changed so much from when I was a freshman, 18 to now when I'm 21.
Yeah.
It's just not comparable.
We were talking about this before the show, but we have changed so much.
So much.
So much.
This is going to get
sentimental.
Well,
so Megan and I have known each other for 7 years?
7 years.
But it's funny.
The real horror is how annoying we used to be and still are. Zero growth, zero character development.
Well, what's so funny now is speaking again on dating and gay. When I start talking to somebody, Megan is loves to draw a connection to herself.
I think you talked about this last week.
Did I really?
Yeah.
It's just so funny to me.
We're already repeating topics.
Okay.
It's our second episode.
But it's also funny because I just the other day I was thinking about what watching me date must look like through your eyes.
That's the real horror. That's the real horror. I'm being so serious.
I'm hey, I'm not gonna get myself hurt again. And then I'm hey, so I started seeing somebody who's leaving in 6 months.
Genuinely, that is the real horror. Let's not even get into it. I'm gonna get amped up.
Megan is I have your therapist on the phone. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, no, you go first.
Oh my gosh. I was going to say we should talk about our near-death experiences.
Weren't we going
to talk about that?
And our hate crime experiences.
Okay, me and Ro have both been hate crimed. Isn't that fun?
Isn't that so crazy?
Fun? So, mine, I will tell this story.
Yeah,
and I think, sorry if this upsets you, Mom and Dad, because they were there. But it upset me too. I was the victim.
Yeah, true.
So, we were in Utah, which, I feel like that's kind of the start of any, hate criming story. By the way, Utah, gorgeous. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
who
gorgeous.
else is in Utah? Corey Wynn.
Let's talk about
Corey.
Damon.
Let's talk about how I'm not a lesbian because Corey Wynn exists. I got a thing for gingers.
He is so
Anyways,
odd.
moving on.
Yeah, he is a ginger.
Yeah.
True shame. So basically we were in Utah. It's our last day. We are literally probably 30 minutes away from the airport that is going to take us
you're
out
about
of
to
Utah.
Leave. Yeah. You almost escaped unscathed.
I almost escaped unscathed. So we're in a coffee shop. I'm wearing a mask. Duh. Because this was also like last spring, so a little more like, you know. And this guy, this random man, he is shorter than me, comes up to me and he's like, masks don't work, by the way. And I was like, okay. And I just like, and then he left. I think he was scared because I was taller than him.
Yeah.
But I was just like, kind of like, I was like, that's so bizarre and like kind of silly because he was also like 40.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you talking to me? And so my mom comes up and I'm like, that guy just told me masks don't work. And I was like, that's so funny.
That's so hilarious.
And then we left and he was sitting in his like giant pickup truck outside.
Yeah.
And we were just like, my mom was like, is that him? And I was like, yeah. And so we were just kind of like looking at him and he rolled down his window and he was like, can I help you?
No.
And I was like, why are you talking to me?
No, literally, yeah.
Like, literally, I think I literally said,
I think
why
I
are
remember
you
saying
talking
that.
to me?
Yeah.
And then, like, we all started arguing. He was arguing with my mom and whatnot. And then he turns around and he, like, clips me with his car.
Which is crazy.
And then he just, like seriously, like, guns it. Like, he was afraid.
And what's funny to me is when you told me that story initially, you talked about your mom sprinting after him yelling, which is so funny.
Yeah, she screamed at him. Yeah.
Megan's mom is, like, 4'11". Like, she's tiny.
She's gonna take offense to you saying that. She's 5'3".
She's small, okay? Especially compared to everybody else in her family. She's small. Yeah. So, like, that is very funny to me.
Yeah, me and my mom are probably the only Asian people in the state. So, a little scary. My, by the way, 6'3", 6'4", now Caucasian father was in the car. Thanks a lot, Dad.
Didn't do anything. First of all, talk about not using your privilege.
Oh, my mom, I totally forgot about this. My mom said, are you going to talk about how I didn't run after him? I think she, like, didn't run down the street because she was holding her chai latte in her hand.
Okay, so thank you for clarifying, Mayu. I appreciate it.
Anyway, so that's my story. Also, I have been, like, almost hit by a car a couple times. I have been hit by a car one other time in high school, again, like just clipped or like just bumped, and then I almost got hit by a car about like 2 weeks ago, I think. And the guy did, even though I was on the crosswalk, he open his window and yell at me.
Crazy.
And I was like, I have men yelling at me from a car related trauma.
No, honestly,
because of that hate criming. So don't yell at me.
Yeah, and also I got PTSD. I was like,
there is a crosswalk. So anyway,
yeah, I'm just like totally.
If you're that guy, come to the studio right now.
Yeah, let's go talk.
It's okay. Like, I'm not going to hurt you.
These hands are ready for everyone. Like, yeah, okay, so my hate crime story is a lot of my family lives in Ohio.
Make sure you don't say the word that he called you.
I will not be saying the word that he called me. Spoiler alert, I was called a word. But I was in Ohio, and I was in, like, really, like, podunk nowhere Ohio. Is like a rural area. And I'm at the grocery store, and I'm shopping, and this man walks behind me and says, "You freaking something," and it is a slur for a lesbian. And he did not say freaking. And he just, like, funny. Murmured it as he walked away. And I was so stunned. And, like, to be fair, in the moment, I was pretty shaken, right? I was messed up.
No, it's funny because we're telling these stories now and they're, like, funny.
But I was, like, gonna cry.
I was, like, kind of messed up after I got hit by that car.
We grew up in an area where, like, there are bad things happen. People are homophobic, but people don't really say slurs to you out in the open. At least, not in my experience. I am a white woman, so to be fair,
yeah, that's true. We don't have like a we don't have a grasp on.
But I remember saying, in this man's defense, I was wearing. First of all, I have a lot of tattoos. Or not a lot. I have a few visible tattoos. I won't say I have a lot of tattoos, but I was wearing this cropped, like, Sex Pistols shirt. And these black shorts that are, like, knee length. They're, like, black jorts.
This is an outfit.
Knee length.
So she told me this is the outfit. She was wearing it.
Yeah. We should post. I'll post a picture on my Instagram.
She said, on the show Instagram, you should.
Yeah.
She said, this is the outfit where that guy called me a slur. And I looked at her and I said,
fair.
I'm not saying that I agree. But I understand.
But, like, here's the thing. He knew somehow, right? And
exactly.
to be fair, I was looking at beer. So, like, There were a lot of things.
There were some cues there.
Yeah, there were a lot
I'm
of things.
not saying that's something
And I remember
he should have done
I told
at all.
I told my aunt and my mom, and I was like, again, to be fair, I was wearing this outfit, and they like didn't get it. Like they didn't think it was funny. They were just mad.
It's really an LGBT joke.
Yeah, like you wouldn't get it if you're not in the gang. But okay, so near death experience. Well, first of all, at one point we went to the beach and I almost drowned. To the point where like
yes.
I was trying to like play it off when Karis, Megan, and I went to the beach and I like went in the ocean to like pee. And I like sat down in the water, like kneeled down, and I got caught in like a riptide. And I like legitimately thought I was gonna die. Like I wish I was Megan is like losing her mind. I legitimately thought I was gonna die. I remember thinking my like bikini top was gonna come undone, and I literally remember being underwater, not being able to breathe, thinking I'm gonna float to the surface dead, and like my chest is gonna be bare. That's gonna be so embarrassing. Luckily, I'm fine, and I got out and I like tried to play it off, but I was like shaking when I got back to the towel, and I had to go back to the hotel.
Can I tell you guys like me? So it was me, Karis, and Ro.
Yeah.
We went to Rehoboth.
Yeah.
And actually, I think it was Dewey, but you know, same
place.
I need to tell you guys me and Karis's perspective. So we were lying on our like little beach blanket, and Ro was like, "I really have to pee." And we were like, "Oh, like the hotel's right there," and she was like, "No, it's okay. Like, it's okay. I'll just go in the water."
Which
and I was
think
like,
is kind of gross, but I think it's also kind of normal.
I think it's pretty normal.
Yeah.
If you guys think it's gross, sorry.
Whatever. I don't care.
She went in the ocean, and she was gone for like 10 minutes.
I was gone for so long.
And to the point where me and Karis, who were like kind of dozing at this point, we were sitting up and like looking around for her. And she gets back, and she's like so winded and
soaked,
like, all wet, and like she's like, I think I'm gonna go back to the room for a while.
I almost drowned.
It's like it was so not funny.
It was
moment.
not funny,
like,
but
we were
I was
very
also
scared.
laughing because that's what I do.
Yeah, like me and Karis were very concerned.
Also,
but now it's so funny.
The second, like, not even near death experience, but I tell it, and like you'll see that my reaction in both of these situations is very similar. So I have a moped, and I recently got a tattoo in DC. So I rode the metro, and I was coming back from the metro stop in College Park on my moped, and I was driving back to the apartment, and it was raining and it was dark. So if you're in the area, there's this intersection of Campus Drive and Route 1 when you're coming back from the metro. I did end up hydroplaning and like skidding and like landing on my side, and like my bike like skidded away from me, and I hit the ground and I was knocked unconscious. You can laugh. It's okay. It's funny.
It is funny.
I was knocked unconscious. This is like, what was I saying? I was telling somebody the other day, I think I was telling my friend, like, I was like, sorry, I laugh during uncomfortable things. And he was like, I can tell. I was like, okay.
Okay, I do think another thing that we should put on the show Instagram is like a reenactment of how you were lying when the guy found you.
Yeah,
because it
really
is
funny.
very funny.
I look like, you know this when they do like chalk outlines of like a dead person. Like, so basically, and the scary part is like I was wearing all black. I did have a helmet on, but again, it was all black and it was dark out. So like
and raining.
So I was blending in with the pavement. And again, I was passed out, and basically this guy apparently pulled up to the intersection in his car and just saw me laying there and had to like wake me up. And then me being the awkward like stubborn person I am, he was like, I can call you an ambulance. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And I was like bleeding in multiple places, and he was like, let me call you an ambulance. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I just picked up my moped and I started driving.
She drove back into the
so
parking lot.
I'm starting to drive back to the parking lot, and I start crying, and then I start laughing because I'm like, what just happened? And I'm sitting in this lot, and I have to call our friend. I'm clutching my shoulder, and I'm like, hey, can you take me to the emergency room?
I was with Ariana when Ro called her, and her face got so serious. She was like, uh-huh. And then I was like following her around. She was getting you like a sweatshirt and like some sweatpants from your drawer.
Yeah.
And I was like following her around while she did it, and then like as soon as she got off the phone with you, I was like, what happened? And she was like, she crashed.
So I just like love telling that story because I'm like, so I was passed out. Somebody did have to come find me, and people are like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I'm okay though. I'm fine. And what's funny, and I think people don't talk about this enough, but maybe they do, the music you're listening to keeps playing. So
I love when people talk about that.
And then I came to and I had like my punk music playing.
I love the car flipped and like I had put Drake on and it's still playing. First of all,
yeah,
I'm not saying if you listen to Drake you deserve for your car to flip.
Also, can we talk
I'm not
about
saying that.
We have to leave in like literally a minute, but 2 more things about this entire
Actually,
moped.
we have 4 minutes left.
Okay, 4 minutes. First of all, I get to the hospital.
Stupid.
My friend calls me on the phone, right? And he's like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. Like, I just got in an accident." Right? And he's like, "Okay, but like I just want to make sure." And I hang up the phone and my mom is like, "Who is that? Who are you talking to? Are you dating somebody?" I was like, literally
in the emergency room.
Literally, I'm bleeding, Mom. And then we're like sitting there, and my mom is like, "We don't have to stay." And I'm like, "Mom, I could have a concussion. Like my neck and head hurt." And she's like,
in the emergency
she's
room.
like, "I'm just saying, like it's kind of gross here. Like there's a baby puking. Like we could always leave." She's like, How about if like they haven't admitted you at 10, like then we leave?" I was like, "Mom." It's like, "Mom, I need to stay and get a CT scan. Like I could have like there could be an issue going on here."
There more issues. There could be additional added issues on top of the already there issues, which are there already and exist.
That's so messed up. We don't have to talk about this. Look. That's the real horror.
The real horror.
The real
is
horror.
Our friendship.
The real horror is
That's the real horror is the friends we made along the way.
Oh my
That's
god,
me
you and I.
you.
Oh my god. People look at our friendship and they go, "Ooh."
Honestly, because we're so annoying. I almost said a curse word.
Yeah.
It would have been funnier. I will say, I think it would have been funnier if I said a curse word.
That's my thing about the cursing.
Well, we just need to come up with
cheese
I'm
and rice.
I'm gonna start saying freaking a lot.
Yeah. Fricking.
Okay. In our last literally 2 minutes, I do want to talk about that makes me think of. Do you guys know the BYU interview?
Yes,
TikTok?
I do know it.
So I saw one where he was like, "What's your favorite curse word?"
Yeah.
And most of them said shoot. They would be like shoot, like the S word, gosh darn it, or gosh dang it.
Dag nabbit.
Just absurd, or freak, or frick. I think some people said flip. So that's gonna be us. We're gonna be Mormons.
Well, I love
we're gonna be from BYU.
Yeah, my grandpa's religious.
Sorry, I don't mean to paint all Mormons with the same brush.
I mean, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
No comment. Oh, also shout out to Sammy, the pet cremator from BYU on
Survivor. He's a pet cremator.
He's literally a pet cremator.
And he's a Mormon. So that's
well,
crazy.
we don't know. He just goes to BYU.
Probably Mormon. That's crazy. First of all, how do you get into that line of work?
He said, "I'm just gonna set your dog on fire real quick."
How does that happen? Oh my god, we should talk about my dog literally being Helen Keller.
We have 1 minute left.
My dog
you want to get
is
into
now
your dog
deaf
being
and
Helen
blind,
Keller.
but shout out my dog Helen Keller.
Love you, Helen
Love
Keller.
you.
That's what that makes me think of is that girl. So we saw another TikTok about this girl who is blind. She was just talking about how her friend made her wedding accessible, which is really cool. But her guide dog's name is Elton John. It's such a cute name.
I love that. Okay, we're gonna play a song.
What are we doing, Vixen?
We gotta play.
We're gonna do Vixen.
We're obsessed
by
with
the
this
Destroy
song.
Boys.
Thank you to everybody who listened.
Thank you guys so much.
You guys are amazing.
All right.
Hopefully we made you giggle.
Until next
See you next
week.
week.